Hi everyone, this is Raven from New York, speaking from Cave Creek, Arizona. Yeah, I'm out here in Cave Creek. Sitting at the Circle K. I got coffee and cigarettes. I wasn't gonna smoke for the rest of the night, but I'm smoking. So, yeah, always listen to your gut. I pretty much have learned that with passengers that are calling me on the phone before I get there, they're gonna be a problem. And no matter what you do for them, it's gonna be a bad rating. Okay, so I ended up all the way. It's a Sunday night, and it's 8 o'clock, and I ended up taking a trip that was 14 miles to get to it out at Desert Mountain. And Desert Mountain is a gated area of Scottsdale that has like 15 subdivisions, and it's way spread out. And it was 5 miles from the gate to the house. Okay. Now, I'm sitting at the house, and this was a time call too. And I'm sitting at the house, and like 8 people walk out of this house. And I was like, by any chance, were you guys expecting an XL? And they were like, yes. And I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know how that happened, but I can only take 4 passengers. So basically, it was only like an 8 mile trip because it was the 5 miles back out of this area and then just right down the road to the restaurant they were going to. Well, that's okay because, well, it was a $14 trip, and it was a really nice ride to get there. And I don't mind doing those kind of trips because it's relaxing for me, and I like being out in the areas where there's less of the retail wonderland and traffic that Scottsdale is. Um, and it's Sunday night, and it makes my night go fast to do those kind of rides. So I didn't mind, and I also didn't mind that I was potentially all the way out here in Cave Creek. Or that I could end up in Cave Creek. So before I dropped these people, I got another ping, and it said 8 miles. Well, part of that was some of the trip that was left, and then to go to this house. Okay, so basically I dropped these guys off at Tom Darlington and Carefree Highway. Tom Darlington is the end of the road that meets Carefree Highway, and you can either go left to Cave Creek or right to Carefree. And where I picked them up was right to Carefree, and actually going further on it, and that's the road that goes to Bartlett Lake. Okay, and it's BFE out here. So I dropped these people at the restaurant, and I looked at where I needed to go to pick up this other ride, and I'm like, all right, well, it's only like 7 o'clock. I'll do it. Because it's probably been like, I think probably the last time I was up there was in 2009, up on Spanish Boot. And Spanish Boot is a long series of switchbacks that go up on this mountain. And it's pitch black out there. There's no streetlights. The houses are really spread out. You can't see the address numbers. And back when, during the times that I was up there, at one point I had Cricket phone service, and I upgraded to Sprint, and I still could not get phone service up there. So this is all these years later, and it's 7 o'clock, and I'm like, all right, well, I'm this far out. I might as well go get this person. I hadn't seen that it was only a short trip anyway. So I get up there, and it took some time to get up there because, like, I didn't go up Spanish Boot. It went the other way. It forked right, and if I were going to Spanish Boot, I would have gone left. And I forget what that, it was, Sombrero Drive or something. I never heard of it before. So I'm all the way back in there, up and down these switchbacks on this one-lane road. Like, I encountered a pack of coyotes on the way, which for me, that's kind of fun to see that. And I get to what appears to be the house. And the pin was a little bit beyond the driveway and back way off the road. And something I normally wouldn't do is I drove up the driveway because it was a long driveway, and because of the way where there was a dot and there was a pin, and the dot was beyond the driveway, and the pin was way far away with nothing there. You know, there's nothing going on out there, and there's one house. And like I said, you can't see the number on it. So I sat in the driveway, okay, and this lady had already called me when I dropped the other people off. And that's usually my first sign to cancel the ride. And I thought I need to cancel the ride. And I'm like, no, I want to get my quest bonus. I'm out here. I need to make money. And I went anyway. Well, I should have just canceled the ride like my first instinct said. Okay, because this trip was a disaster. Okay, she's sending me text messages. I'm here. Where are you? And I've got about 1 minute left on the timer, and I called her, and I'm like, hello, ma'am, as far as I know, I believe I'm in your driveway. And she's like, where are you? I'm here. I don't see you anywhere. Okay, that's how the conversation started. Okay, and I said, well, okay, it's pitch black out here. This is the only house I'll see. I will drive further up the road and see if I can find you. And she's yelling at me, and I'm like, I'm coming. And I'm like, oh, okay, I see this other driveway. Well, you should, because it's lit up. There's a little light bulb at the end of the driveway, and yeah, there was a house number on there. But based on what I saw before, there was no way for me to know that there's another house. And all you could see was a rock with her house number on it, and a light bulb, and a pull-in, but you couldn't see anything else until you got quite a ways up the driveway. And she's up there at her palace, waiting in front of her garage, and, you know, I'm just trying to get to Walgreens. You're gonna bring me back, aren't you? Sure, ma'am, I'd be happy to bring you back. I drive down the driveway. Which way are you going? I'm going the way the app is telling me to go, unless you would like to give me other instructions. Well, turn right, and then turn left. And by this time, I was like, you know what, ma'am, I'm going to just bring you right back to your house. Okay. And then she starts freaking out on me more, and then I start freaking out back. Because I'm like, I don't need to be spoken to like this, and it's best that I just end the ride. So, and I did tell her, I said, this will be reported to Uber. Direct me back to your house. And like by this time, this lady is now begging me, please, please take me to Walgreens. I will compensate you. I don't know what I did wrong. And I'm like, ma'am, all I expect is that you treat me with dignity and respect while I'm out here just trying to make a living. So yeah, and I'm like freaked out because it's scary up there, and I'm not intimidated easily, but again, it's pitch black. The houses are way off the road. They're way spread apart. Okay. It's weird up there. It's creepy up there. Um, and just, oh my God. And here's the thing for me, it's like, it matters to me when I'm out here working and I have to cancel or decline a ride because I'm afraid for my ratings or my job. So it's kind of a catch-22 because I'm inclined to take the ride because I need to get the money for the ride for my time. And also because where I come from, I never had to worry about customers like this. It was my place to put them in their place. I didn't have to roll over and call corporate, I didn't have to do anything. In all the years that I drove a taxi, I've only had 2 complaints. And the first complaint was a lady who tripped over her long skirt that dragged on the ground, stepping over the curb to get in my car. And I guess she figured she was going to try to blame it on me, that she tripped over her skirt. And the other one was when I was with ExecuCar, and I was on the phone fighting with my mother and driving around the airport and went to Terminal 4 instead of Terminal 2. And I was like 10 minutes late getting there, or I should have been there 10 minutes earlier. But here I am driving around the airport, fighting with my mother on the phone, totally distracted, went to the wrong terminal. It was a legit complaint. Okay, and what ended up happening was it was a $74 ride. And when I handed the guy the slip to sign for the credit card, because the way they did these rides, they were prepaid, and they would put a hold on the amount on the credit card until the signed slip was turned in, and then the driver would get the money. So this guy handed me back a slip that wasn't signed. Okay, and I just ate the ride because I would have had to go to my driver manager, who was a prick, whose reputation preceded him for that company, and have to explain the situation for him and deal with his wrath for fucking up. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to eat the ride. And that's what I did. So I didn't get paid, and it went away. And, well, I don't have to explain to people all the shit that goes on with Uber, but yeah. And I am going to get a camera. Driver Dave and I talked about it, and he had asked me, do you think we should get a camera? Maybe we should split the cost. And I didn't want to do that because I don't know how much longer I'm going to be driving with a driving partner, and then we'd have to figure out, well, whose camera is it, and one of us buy the other one out, and yada yada. But, yeah, I'm looking at getting a camera soon. So yeah, the point, trust your gut. Don't second guess yourself. In the long run, it's not worth your job or mine. Alright, thanks for listening, everybody.